Hello, my dear friends. At the end of episode 1, Michelle felt a flash of light on her face. Do you know what it was? Before I disclose the suspense, I would like to mention that if you are new to my channel, take some time to watch the first episode of this story by clicking the link above. I would appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and like and share my videos, as a lot of hard work goes into making these videos. Now, without wasting time, let's dive into episode 2 of this story. As Craig played with the wooden toy, Michelle's attention was drawn to a figure on the street below. As she looked, a flash of light struck her face as if someone clicked a photo of her.
Hey, stop taking pictures!
But the mysterious photographer had already vanished, leaving Michelle more unsettled than ever. That evening, as John shared news about Craig's school registration, he couldn't help but notice Michelle's distraction. John concerned.
Michelle, what's wrong?
John, there was a man taking pictures of me today.
What? What did he look like?
As Michelle described the photographer, John's face grew pale with recognition. John, sighing.
I've seen him too. The day I went to the estate agent's office.
Michelle, shocked.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want to worry you. We're just settling in, and I thought maybe it was nothing.
John, this is serious. First Craig's story, then what I saw in the mirror, and now this man photographing us both. Something strange is happening here.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but let's not jump to conclusions. There could be rational explanations for all of this.
As John spoke, Michelle could see the doubt in his eyes. He wanted to believe her, but the logical part of his mind was fighting against the impossible things she was describing. Their conversation was suddenly interrupted by an eerie sound echoing from the darkened hallway. Michelle, whispering.
John, did you hear that?
As they cautiously approached the hall, the wooden horse toy from the rooftop was moving on its own, its hooves clicking against the floor.
Where did this come from?
It was on the roof. Craig never brought it down.
Suddenly, Michelle felt a chill brush past her, and her eyes were drawn to the bedroom mirror. Michelle, screaming.
John, the woman, she's there!
In the mirror, Michelle could see the woman in red, moving the horse with a wicked grin. But John saw nothing. John, exasperated.
Michelle, there's nothing there. Stop making things up. I come tired from work, and then you start talking about things that do not exist or make sense.
As John stormed off to the bedroom, Michelle stood shocked alone in the hallway, doubting her own sanity. The next morning, John was in remorse of his last night's behavior, and so he decided to apologize for what he did. John returned home, flowers in hand, determined to make things right. John, offering the flowers.
Michelle, I'm so sorry about last night. Can we talk?
Michelle, taking the flowers, smiling softly.
Thank you, John. It's okay. Let's have dinner and talk.
Later that night, John woke up feeling thirsty. John, mumbling.
Need some water.
As he returned from the kitchen, he noticed Craig's door open. John saw a figure by Craig's bed. John.
Michelle, what are you doing here?
Shh! Craig just woke up. I'm putting him back to sleep.
Oh, okay, come back to bed soon.
John returned to his bedroom only to find Michelle fast asleep. John, panicking.
But if Michelle's here, then who?
Rushing back to the hallway, John noticed the locked room's door ajar. John, whispering.
How is this possible? We don't have the key.
It was pitch black in the room. As he moved further, he saw something moving on the floor. When he focused on it, he felt a chill go down his entire body. It was the wooden toy horse, producing the tick-tock sound in the utter silence. John was wondering about how the toy got in there, when few hours back it was lying in the living room. All of a sudden, the lights turned on its own, and John couldn't believe his eyes as he saw a stunningly beautiful woman standing beside the toy horse. The woman in red, seductively.
Oh my John, I've waited years for you. Now you'll be mine forever.
John was mesmerized by her beauty as he looked into her eyes. There was something in those deep eyes that John couldn't think of anything. She began to draw closer to him. Before he could ask her who she was, He saw something that horrified him. John.
Your feet!
John was terrified to see the woman's feet that were twisted backwards, creating a terrifying contrast with her beauty. Regaining all his senses, John fled the room, slamming the door shut. He heard evil laughter behind him.
John, what are you doing?
John, startled.
Michelle, the room, it was open. There was a woman.
Seeing John extremely horrified, Michelle took him to the bedroom and tried to calm him down. He then revealed the whole incident to her. Michelle, upset.
Now you believe me? We need to leave this house.
As the couple sat in their bedroom, they realized their nightmare was far from over. The events of the night left John unable to sleep. As he tossed and turned, his mind kept returning to the woman in red. John, thinking to himself,
I know her face from somewhere, but where?
As dawn broke, John quietly left for work, his appetite lost to worry and fear. John, looking back at the house.
I need to figure this out for all of us.
At the office, John's distraction was evident. His colleague Akbar, noticing John's state, approached with concern. Akbar.
John, what's wrong? Did something happen again?
John, hesitantly.
Akbar, you won't believe what I saw last night.
As John recounted the terrifying events, Akbar listened intently, his face growing more serious with each detail. After hearing John's story, Akbar offered a potential solution. Akbar.
I know someone who might be able to help. Let me contact him and see if he can visit your home.
Really? That would be... Thank you, Akbar.
Returning home that evening, John was met with an unsettling silence. John, knocking frantically.
Michelle? Craig? Is anyone there?
As his knocks went unanswered, John's worry turned to panic. Driven by fear, John made his way to the backyard, hoping to catch a glimpse inside. John, peering through the window.
Oh no!
What he saw inside filled him with dread. Alerted by John's presence, Michelle rushed to let him in. Michelle, throwing herself into John's arms.
John! Oh, John!
Craig, standing behind Michelle, visibly shaken. John.
It's okay, I'm here now. What happened?
As John tried to calm his family, Michelle began to reveal the day's terrifying events. Michelle, through tears.
Something unrealistic and unusual happened today. You should see it yourself. We can't stay here anymore, John. We just can't.
John, looking from Michelle to Craig.
Tell me everything. We'll figure this out together.
As John entered the bedroom, he was met with a chilling sight that made his blood run cold. John, shocked.
Michelle, what happened to the mirror?
Michelle, trembling.
It appeared this afternoon. I was too scared to touch it.
Despite Michelle's protests, John approached the mirror, driven by a need to understand. John, touching the streaks.
It's wet. Oh God, it's blood.
Michelle, panicking.
Blood? John, we need to leave this house now.
Their horrified discussion was suddenly interrupted by Craig's blood-curdling scream from downstairs. Racing to the living room, John and Michelle witnessed a heart-stopping scene. John, lunging forward.
Craig!
John managed to catch Craig just before he hit the floor, pulling him into a protective embrace. As the family gathered in the living room, Craig, still shaken, began to explain what had happened. Craig, trembling.
I was looking for my wooden horse. I went up to the roof.
Why didn't you ask us for help, sweetie?
I thought I could find it myself.
Craig's story took a chilling turn as he described his encounter on the stairs.
Then I saw her, the woman in the red dress. She had my horse.
The woman in red? What did she do?
She asked me to come closer, but then her face, it changed. It was horrible.
As Craig finished his story, the full weight of this situation crashed down on the family. Michelle, hugging Craig tightly.
That's it. We can't stay here another night. It's not safe.
You're right. We need to leave. But we also need to understand what's happening. This thing, it's following us, haunting us.
John carried Craig in his arms to his bedroom, and Michelle followed along. He laid down Craig on the bed and the family comforted one another. As John and Michelle discussed their next steps, Craig's terrified voice cut through their conversation.
Papa, look at the mirror. The red lines, they're moving.
John and Michelle turned to look, and what they saw chilled them to the bone. John, in disbelief.
It can't be.
Oh my god.
So, what do you think, friends? What did Craig and the family see in the mirror? To unravel the horror, follow for the next chilling episode. Do not forget to share your views in the comments section regarding your thoughts about the next events. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and press the bell icon so you do not miss the last episode. Bye for now.